This is question 1 for Live Tough. Question 1 being, what are the main themes, messages, inspirations for this track? So Live Tough, there's a reason Live Tough is at like the core of the album. Track 5, track 6, right there at the heart of the album. There's a reason it was placed there. Obviously, it's partnered up with track 10, Lock Up LA, but it's also important to me that this was at the heart of the album, because in a lot of ways it is the heart of the album. While I was writing this album, I had this dream of, I want to create a record. I want to play the music, play it live, and I want to do the thing. This is a dream, and I want to make it happen. But it was a lot harder than I thought it was going to be, naturally. But one of the lessons that I learned in creating this record was that the life you want, the life that you strive for, the life that, if everything went right, best case scenario, this is the kind of life I'd want, at least for me. The kind of life that you want, to get it, is so much harder than just living an okay life. Just being kind of complacent, just kind of, good enough. That is so much easier than living the ideal life. Going after your dreams, living your dreams is harder than not doing it. So the realization with all that was, well, Max, if you want to accomplish these things, if you want to live the life you want to live, you have to get tough. You have to be strong. You have to be willing to suffer. I wanted to be free. I wanted to I want to be in charge of myself. I want to play my songs. Well, if you want to be free, you have to be tough. You've got to live tough if you want to be free. This is another song that kind of falls in the category of, maybe it's a little corny, and it's not exactly in the same way as Faded City Lights is a little corny, a little naive, a little too optimistic, but that was an important lesson for me to learn. That really changed how I approached the rest of the album, and really the rest of my day-to-day, was that it's gonna be hard. If it's hard, that means you're going after something. Easy is nothing. Going after nothing is easy. Going after what you want, that's tough. One thing I did to myself that I did on a number of these songs, but I really remember it for this song. I came up with this chord progression, and I had the melody. I would write a lot of these songs at home in my parents' basement, and multiple people are home, and I don't want to sing super loud, especially when I'm trying to figure out what I'm trying to sing. So I'd kind of whisper sing to myself as I'm writing the chord progression. Put the thing together. And then I get the chance to really sing it. And I'm like, oh shoot, this is not even close to in my vocal range. So I had to step it down. Okay, 2 steps. Still not close. I stepped this one down like 4 or 5 steps down to get it into a key that I could sing it. And even so, it's still kind of close. If you ever hear me do this one live, if I'm having a bad night, I don't sing this one well, because it's getting to that key change final chorus. That's right at the tippy top of my vocal range. unless I'm in good spirits. Yeah, the words were relatively quick to get. I wanted to keep this theme of the flood. The sun rises but the day stays gray. It's kind of like, rain clouds. Day stays gray, it's cloudy. And it starts raining. Light fades and the streets turn to rivers. It's raining a lot. Now the streets are turning into rivers, And then night falls and the flood begins. And that's getting really up there. And now we're drowning in the midnight sky. I wanted to build that up. That was a metaphor that I really wanted to have. Because, when you're feeling trapped, when you feel like you don't know where to turn, and like, I'm never going to get to the kind of life I want to live, at least to me, it does kind of feel like you're drowning. The water level is rising. Every day is passing. I'm still here. I'm not getting any younger, and I'm not getting any closer either. And it does feel like the water level's rising on you. So that was a metaphor that really worked in my mind, and I wanted to have it in there. So that was kind of my launching point for each of the verses in the bridge there. And then the chorus, it's almost a little too on the nose, almost too cliche. I want to take off into the night. Yeah. But it's true. That was how I was feeling. And sometimes there's a reason something's cliche, is because it's true for a lot of us. I know that I felt exactly that. So I don't mind if it's a little corny. So recording this one was a bit of a doozy. I remember this one being kind of a challenge. We had this one recorded. So this is one of 2 songs on the album where every sound that you hear is me. Most of the songs have some featured artists, some contributors, but the bass and the piano and the guitar and the drums, the organ, vocals, everything on this track is me. So this one took us a little bit longer, especially because this is the guitar is in the spotlight on this one. I can say, no doubt, 150 takes of that guitar solo. Probably 200. Thank God for the miracle of technology that I could almost do it a measure at a time. I would play the whole thing. I'd play the whole thing, play the whole thing again 20 times, and then I would sit down and listen to all 20 of the takes and say, okay, I nailed that, screwed up the rest of it. But on this take, I nailed that. I screwed up the rest of that. And on this take, I nailed that. And so it kind of, we ended up with something pretty close. Yeah, we had to do a lot of messing around with the guitar because it was one of those things where I wrote something that I can't play. I wrote that guitar solo, and I tried to teach it to other people, and they just were busy or they didn't get it or whatever. So I said, I'll play it myself. That was easily one of the hardest parts to record, maybe on the whole album. That kicked my butt. And it's not even that crazy of a solo. It's just, I got no business on a guitar solo. That was a good time. I love the drums on this song. There's nothing too wild about them, but I'm a drummer at heart, and I loved playing the drums for this track. This one was fun to record. It's a lot of fun to play live. All the parts, at least for me, were really fun to play. I put the bass. I actually recorded the bass in drop D, which is crazy for me. But that's just a little fun fact. This one was fun. So, I've mentioned before, this whole record was like a 3 or 4, or maybe even 5 year process. And I had started recording the lyric videos. I had the Darkness We See lyric video done a year in advance. But the last 3 lyric videos, I did them all within like 2 weeks of the launch. I finished recording and editing the Live Tough lyric video like on November 20th, like 2 days before the launch of the album. And it was like, 35, it was like 45 degrees, 50 degrees maybe. And I could not come up with the concept of this video. I couldn't do it. Like I've said, I wanted the videos to be, you can hear, of course, how the song sounds. I wanted to show you, here's how the song looks to me. And I couldn't figure out what that was for the life of me. I had a number of ideas that I scrapped. A number of really bad ideas that I scrapped and almost did. I ended up going with just standard guy running in a music video. That's a pretty standard music video. I can't think of an example, but there's examples where the whole music video is just a guy running, and that's what this was. When I was in high school, we did film festivals, and I was in the film festival every year. If you had asked me what I wanted to be when I was 16, 17, 15 years old, I was going to be a movie director. So putting these lyric videos together was kind of that coming through. I loved putting these videos together. But I did a video where the whole video I'm running, chasing after the perfect version of myself. This video is called Your Perfect Self. I actually can't get it removed from the internet, but I would if I could, because I'm 14 or 15. It's embarrassing, but I'm running, and I'm doing it like the whole video. And I was gonna just like, what if we could just put the clips of that song of that video to this song. Then I thought, well, I don't want to put my 15-year-old self out there more than I have to, so I'll just re-record myself running. And the money shot, me jumping in the river there. Again, it was about 45 degrees. Water was colder than that, and I do not do cold well. Oh, I hate being cold. It is super effective against me. I will die if I'm too cold for too long, like most people. But it's much easier for me to be cold. I'm always cold. So I really did not want to do that. I was standing on the bridge like, whose idea was this? And my friend Devin, who was filming some of it, like, it's your idea. God, this sucks. But I jumped in. I nearly drowned. But you know what? It was worth it. It was worth it. I love the way that shot turned out. So like I've said, this has got its rightful place at the heart of the album. This is where writing this song, putting it together, is where I learned really the lesson that you have to be tough if you want to make your dreams happen. And making this record was unbelievably tough. Unbelievably tough. So this song is unique in that it taught me that setbacks and problems and obstacles are not in themselves a sign to quit. Sometimes it's a reminder that you're on the right path. I tell myself, it's like when you're playing a video game. If you start seeing a whole lot more bad guys, see some stronger enemies, that means you're going the right way. So it was an important lesson for me to learn, and it was very important in the making of this album. Obviously, the super heavy, not heavy, but the large volume of guitar work in this is unique, especially because I'm the guy doing it. This one, I love playing this one live. This one has got that kind of energy that I really wanted the whole record to have. This is one of the tracks where I think I put that. I managed to capture that a little better than I do on some of the others. Most of the others. This is definitely got the energy that I wanted the record to have. Kind of exemplifies that.